Hi everyone, today we're going to be assembling the eQuad X from Rosso Motors. First step, we're just going to take a knife and cut open the box. And we're going to remove the packaging from inside here. Now we just pull the crate out from the box. So the next we're going to be taking the steel crate off from outside the ATV. We're going to be using a 10mm wrench and a Phillips screwdriver. So next we're going to cut any zap straps that are holding onto the steel crate. Now we just lift the crate off it. And we'll start to remove the packaging. So now we're going to remove the bottom of the steel crate from the ATV. So there's 2 bolts at the back and 1 at the front that we're going to have to undo. Again, 10mm wrench and a Phillips screwdriver. We're going to lift the ATV out of the crate. Next, we're going to open up the boxes that came with the ATV to check what's inside of them. So here we have the battery charger for the ATV, a charger adapter if you want to charge the ATV outside of its, the battery outside of the ATV. We have the yellow reflectors and red reflectors, simple basic tools for it, a fuse for the ATV and a spare. These are the nuts for the back of the reflectors, the hardware for our handlebars, the shift knob for the ATV, and the keys for our multiple speed switch. So you also see that you got 2 racks inside the box. We have the front rack for the front of the ATV here, and the rear one that's going to mount on the back. Additionally, we also have the front bumper that's going to mount on the front of the ATV here. So now we're going to install the handlebars on the ATV. So we have our handlebar brackets and the 4 bolts that are provided with the ATV. We're just going to use a 10mm wrench to secure them. So we're going to start with the large bracket on the bottom, and we'll just take a smaller bracket on top and secure it with a bolt. Now once you have the 4 bolts in, you set the handlebars in the right position and then tighten them with the 10mm wrench. So now we're going to install the shift knob onto the forward reverse switch. You'll just place the knob onto the shifter and the little screw goes in the middle and you'll tighten it down with a Phillips screwdriver. So now we're going to install the front bumper and the front rack onto the ATV. So we'll start at the front here. You'll remove the 2 10mm bolts from the bottom of the frame. Then we'll take the bumper, place it over the holes, and then reinstall the bolts. You only need to do this hand tight until everything's put together. Now we take the bolts out of the top of the front bumper, and we'll place them down to the front rack. Okay, once that's together, we'll use our 10mm wrench to loosen these bolts on the top off. All right, now we're just going to lift the front rack on and place it over the bolts that were in the body. Once it's all together hand tight, we're just going to tighten it up with some wrenches. Now our front bumper and rack is installed. Now we're going to install the rear rack onto the ATV here. So there's just 4 bolts on the back that mount it. They're already on the ATV, so you just need to take them off. And we're just going to slide our rack over the mounts and reinstall the 4 bolts. So now that the bolts are hand tight, we're just going to tighten them down with a 10mm and 12mm wrench. So now we're going to install the 4 reflectors that came with the bike. So you'll have 2 yellow ones that will go on the front and 2 red ones that are going to go on the rear rack. So the rear ones are going to mount on these tabs here. You'll just put the reflector on, take one of the small nuts that came with it. You can take a 10mm wrench to tighten it down. And the procedure is the same with all 4 reflectors. So next we're going to install the fuse for the battery into the ATV. So if you look down the side here, there'll be a black fuse case on the red positive wire. First you're going to want to unplug the battery, the black connector. You'll install the fuse into the 2 prongs. And then just re-plug the black connector on the battery. So now that we have our ATV all assembled, we're going to do a little pre-ride check. So we do recommend that you fully charge the ATV before you use it. So for this model, the charging port is right here on the side of your battery pack. You'll just pull the black rubber cap off and plug in the charger and then plug it into the wall. So we're also going to want to check to make sure it's on the correct speed for your child. So you'll take the special keys that came with your ATV here, insert them in the 3-speed switch, and select the desired speed. We're also going to want to check the brake handles. So you can position them up and down, and then there's one Allen key bolt that'll tighten it down into place. And then, so we'll take the keys from the ATV off the brake line. You can either take the key and insert it on the ignition, which is on the right side of your ATV to turn it on. Or it also comes with a key fob, which can turn it on and off. You press the lightning bolt to turn it on, and the lock button to turn it off. So the last thing we're going to want to check is the seat on the ATV to make sure it's secured properly. You'll look on the bottom, there's this latch here, and there'll be a little bar with 2 holes in it that you're going to want to secure this latch underneath of. So just put it down, press down on the front, and then click the bottom in place. So now we're done assembling the eQuad X for Rosso Motors. If you do have any questions about assembly or using the product, please feel free to contact us. Thanks for watching.